Good. So, welcome. Nice to see you in our little open house about the upcoming analyst trainings. Roos had the wonderful idea, as there is so few of us live today, that we do a little introduction. And Lailach, I would like to start with you. You were the first one in here. Would you like to tell us just briefly, who you are, where you are, and what, how you came to human design, what you're doing here, and how much, what you've been doing in human design so far?
Okay. Well, I'm a 45-year-old woman from Israel, and I've been on the experiment about 5 years. I think I just reached the end of my 5th year. If you look at it from the beginning of when I got into the human design sphere, although my reading was later, and I'm a 3-5 manifesting generator, emotional, and I'm here because we need to, I think, see if I connect to the energy, to the transmission, because I'm thinking about maybe next year taking the professional courses. That's it, I think. If you have any questions, you're welcome.
Okay. Great, thank you. Ono, would you like to tell us a little bit about you?
Yes, I will. For about 6 years ago, my best friend came to me and he said, I got a reading. And I said, oh, that's interesting. From who? From someone who's clairvoyant or something? No, he said, it's a system. And that's how I got into human design. And ever study it since then. I still think it's not the most easiest system. It's the more you study, the more difficult it gets. And nevertheless, I'm loving it, and I loved your BG5 course, of course. And I'm even now making a website around BG5. We already have some human design teachers in the Netherlands, and I do not have the intention to become a teacher. I would like to do it in a very practical way, and becoming a BG5 consultant.
Great.
I'm a 2-4 emotional projector, so that's about me.
Okay, so it's the normal statistics: 3 generators, 1 projector.
Yes.
As usual. Okay. Okay, well, Roos, would you like to introduce yourself too, because you are fairly new in this setup?
Yeah, I will.
Not to human design.
Yeah, I love to. Just in preparation of this open house, I was going back to how I got introduced to human design, and that was quite an amazing experience, because it's a bit the longer story, but I think I can do the longer story right now in this small group. I felt in love with my teacher of NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. I was doing a course, but he had a girlfriend by then. And a year later, when I finished the course with him, I understood from a friend of mine that his relationship was over with that woman. So I thought, I just give him a call. That was somewhere January 1997, which is more than 20 years ago. And I phoned him up and he said, Roos, nice, and long time we haven't heard, and how are you doing? And this sort of question. And he said, when are you born? I said, well, yeah, what's your birthday and time and year and so on and so forth. So I told him, and he was sitting in his house and I was sitting behind my telephone in my house, and he was sitting behind the computer and put in the data, which apparently later appeared to be the human design software. And then he said, oh, are you like this? Are you like that? And I thought, interesting. And then he said, why don't you come over tomorrow? So I came over the next day, and then my chart was on the computer. And as soon as I saw it, I thought, this is what am I going to do the rest of my life. Which was pretty amazing, because I was into, I am a geologist from background, so I studied at the university here in the Netherlands, the oldest university in the Netherlands. I graduated, I became an expert in gemstones, and I was teaching the subject of gemology, so all facts about gemstones, how to recognize them, how to distinguish them, and so on. So it wasn't so much of a logical step to all of a sudden switch from gemstones to people. Although people are gems as well, of course, you know. And since I was always looking into the stones with the microscopes and things, it was of course interesting, because instead of looking into the microscope and seeing all kinds of inclusions in the stones, or things that aren't really proper, or that whatever it is, or not really well cut, or whatever. It apparently seems that I'm doing the same with people now. So looking into them and journeying through the being of people. And this journey is what I really love, and you know, I switched the careers 10 years ago, in the sense that I was studying human design for years and years and years. I thought it's important to know what the subject is about before you start confusing people, because they're already confused, so you better watch out and know what you're talking about. And I have in my design, it's also an incredible fear of failure, so in combination with the quality and detail, so this is highly slowing down putting out a human design business. So, I made the switch 10 years ago to contribute all my time to human design, and I must say I'm still really every day excited about the knowledge and excited about what I can contribute to people to help them understand themselves and help them, as far as also the subject is concerned. What I'm going to teach is relationships, like what's going on inside one person and how do we interact with someone else. So that's really something I was always trying to understand. Like I was for years and years and years, I thought I'm the only crazy one here on this planet, you know. Everyone seems to understand themselves, and except for me. But apparently, I understood later on through the human design that we all have our faults and little mistakes or shadow sides, or what you can call it whatever you like, but at the same time very much the beauty inside all of us. And then, you know, in my coaching business with human design and help people to bring consciousness on these various aspects, and that they coincide in a way, and that's at a certain point, you know, as soon as you get awareness on it, you can open up new worlds for yourself and then also for other people around you. So that's a long introduction, let's say. And I have my 20th human design anniversary this year.
Congratulations.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And you've met Ra. You've been in our mill in Austria at courses with Ra, so you know you have a long history. Great, thank you.
Yeah, many great courses with Ra. Also, Jürgen, who for a long, when did he pass away? Ilse?
Jürgen died 2 years before Ra, so Ra died in 2011. 11, so Jürgen must have died 9 or 10.
Yeah.
And I mean, the incredible thing is that the day Ra died, the day that the transit looked like Jürgen's chart. So this was one of the creepy things. So they had something to do with each other. Okay, we've got a new participant who is called Mr. Open House. Is this you, Andre? Hello, hello. Can you speak? I activated your microphone. You can speak. Okay. Okay, well, so welcome. Nice to see you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, yes.
Okay, hello everybody. I'm really getting used to the environment, so very welcome, very happy to be here.
Okay. We've just been introducing ourselves. Would you like to say a little bit about who you are and where you're from and how you came to human design?
For sure, thank you. Well, I am from Slovenia, from Litjens actually. I met human design in 2007 on a retreat in South America. I am a splenic fuel generator, and I finished PTL1 last year with International Human Design School, and I'm looking forward to connect to the human design network around my country.
Great. Well, I hope we can serve you. Thank you. Okay, well then my little intro. I mean, Andre, I think I have to turn off your microphone because you seem to be producing an echo. So if you want to say something again, please just write in, then I'll open it up again. But there was a background noise. Okay, well, I met Ra at an intro lecture in 1993, so that's really a long time ago. Started my training, became an analyst in 95, took over Human Design Austria in 2000, and I've been running a school ever since then. I was trained to be an interior designer, so I stayed in design, just changed a little bit. But yeah, I mean, for me, it is the best thing that ever happened to me in life. Yeah. yeah. So I'm crosser planning. I was building structures for, for groups and communities before human design, and I'm still doing the same now with human design. And I love the knowledge. As you said, Roos, I really love how we can help and support people in a very practical manner, and that's really what drives me and what makes the basis of all this work. Okay, so let's get to our topic tonight. right now, Martin Grassinger is teaching Analyst Training Level 1. So this is already going on. I am going to follow in a few weeks or months' time. Let's take the next slide. I'm going to follow in the summer, you know, whenever we agree to do it, with the Incarnation crosses, with the next level. And Roos, I've got you here as well. Roos is going to follow at the end of the year, autumn, winter, with the analyst, with the partnership level 3. So that's mainly what we want to talk about tonight. And just to make everything clear, the way we teach here in the German-speaking world, we have been running 2 levels of education ever since we started. I've got a little picture here, somewhere in the end. So the original education, as Ra introduced it, this was about in 2001, was the 4 levels with the goal of producing an analyst who was licensed to give basic readings, foundation readings. These 4 levels together took about 19 days of teaching. We adopted that right away. We started to teach this kind of education, I think it was in 2003. And we've been doing this ever since very, very successfully. A couple of years after that, Ra introduced the new education, the professional training, which in the original version took 51 days. So it was, you know, much longer, of course, much more expensive. And it produced professionals or analysts who could give all these basic readings. Now, from my, 20-something years of experience, I found, to teach both versions is very helpful if somebody really knows after living your design, ABC and rave cartography, that they want to stay with human design for the rest of their lives. Well, yes, then of course you can or could take the long professional training right away. We offer this too. But with most people, you don't know if you're going to be a good analyst, if this is going to work for you, if you're going to enjoy it. So with our so-called, quote-unquote, short training, our focus is on producing good analysts who can give good basic readings, start off really helping people on a very practical level. And once you are an analyst, once you give readings, once you're experienced, after that you can update your training anytime. You can specialize in, one of the many other topics, and, switch over and update to the professional if you want to. But my big criticism really is that the professional training very often is a very, how shall I say, very successful way of making a lot of money. People, start and sit in huge and endless courses, and if you happen to find out, at the end of it, that this is really not for you, you have spent an incredible amount of time and money. And, I don't think that's a good order, and I don't think this is necessary. So I'm a big fan. I'm a 4/6 profile, so I'm a big fan of giving overviews and, looking at the whole picture. And once you know and understand the whole picture, then you can take Rose's microscope and look into all the details. But to start with the details doesn't seem to be a brilliant idea in my mind. So this is why once again we are offering this short original human design education. As I said, level 1 is on right now, and level 2 is going to be the Incarnation crosses. My plan is to start right after the summer vacation, so in August or September, or even earlier. That really depends. I'm available, whatever the people of level 1 or you want. So I'm ready to start anytime that the students would like me to start. For me, again, the crosses, that was one of my very, very favorite topics. Ra once said to me, if I hadn't been such a nuisance, he would have never come out with the crosses, which I don't think is true, but still, I kept asking and nagging. So, you know, I collected one cross after the other, and then, yeah, I had the 16 right angle crosses, and then it said, well, there must be... Anyway, so he taught the crosses in, I think it was 2000 in Sedona. That was my only trip to America. I was there at the original course. And there is a couple of cross books on the market, big ones, detailed ones, where you can read pages and pages and pages about crosses, and hardly anybody really gets it. And that is, for me, such a pity, because the crosses are very clear if you look at them in a sort of intelligent way. The crosses are quite easy to understand if you know how to read it. And for me, the crosses are the headline of life. It's really, you know, this is my chart and this is my cross. So I put my chart on purpose without the data, because if you look at my chart, you would never guess where the big focus is. But of course, with the cross, with the conscious sun in 37, you can see that this channel of community, this cross axis that we see here, this really is the main focus point of my design. So for me, the crosses really give you the purpose, give you the focus point, give you the essence of a chart. And your specific design then shows you how you can fulfill your general purpose. And for this, you know, you look at the 4 cross gates, you look how they are situated in the body graph, you look at the quarter of where the cross is situated, and all of this gives you a very clear, very straight way of understanding your purpose in life. And this is what I'm going to teach in these, you know, this is about 3 days looking at the crosses. So my goal is that these students will really be able to get the essence of anybody's cross, you know, without having to dig into these endless details that are usually just a way of confusing people. I mean, human design is, like Onno said in the beginning, it is very complex. It can be very, very complicated. You can really lose yourself in the details. And, you know, that's no good. It doesn't help anybody. So my goal and our goal is really, you know, Onno, there is 16 right angle crosses. The question was, how many crosses are there? There are 16 right angle crosses in the 4 variations, and then you have the left angle ones to go with it. I think it's 192. Please don't nail me down on this number.
Yes.
Yeah, it's about 200 crosses. And of course, you know, with the various profiles, with the various sub-themes. So there's thousands of crosses, really, if you go through all the depth. But you have to start at the beginning, and you have to, you know, this is me. I'm cross of planning. I was an interior designer. I'm planning human design now. So if you give me any kind of reading, even an overview, without mentioning this overall theme of building structures for community, you miss the point. So even if I give a 15 minutes overview, I include, you know, 2-3 sentences about the cross to give you an idea about this overall headline that everyone is carrying, and this is possible, and this is this is what we are going to do. So. The cross is one of my big favorite themes. I mean, oh no, you know, BG5 is my one big love.
I know.
The crosses are the other one. So I'm really looking forward to teaching this again. Just taught it in German a couple of weeks ago. So I'm fresh into crosses, and yeah. So this is what I'm going to offer. And in this specific case, we have changed level 2 and level 3, because usually partnership is the second course after level 1, but it really doesn't make any difference if you do partnership first or crosses first. But as Roos is going to be busy this summer, so we said, no problem, let's change it around. And when I'm finished with the crosses, in autumn or winter, then Roos is going to teach the next level, the partnership. Yeah, so this is a little bit longer, partnership and transits. That takes a little bit longer than just one topic. So this is what Roos is going to teach, near the end of this year. And Roos, would you like to tell us a little bit about your partnership course? What is your focus point in there?
Yeah, also in preparation of our discussion, I remembered that once I couldn't find it back exactly when it was, but it was the time in summer when Ra gave courses in your mill at the in Austria at the border with Hungary. And I did. He gave a partnership course, and it was the only official. I don't know if you can remember, but it was the only official examination, at least I have done with him. Let's say
that's true. Yes. Yes.
Written questions, and then you were just back to school. You were sitting down with questions. And then white pieces of paper for your answers, And I came the next morning, and he was sitting there outside smoking his whatever he was smoking, and and then he said, "Roos," and he wasn't very much like that, but he said, "Roos, you did very well." So then he gave me the piece of paper, and then I had almost all questions 100% right. So I had a 10 minus or something, So in fact, in preparation of this course, and Ilse, you asking me to teach this, I thought there is some really fun in it that you asked me to give this course. Let's say, what we're going to do during the course is something that I will develop over the coming month. So I have been collecting all sorts of information already. And of course, it's the obvious, like if you meet someone else, what's going to happen then? And it's more or less, I am a 3-5 manifesting generator, and this means that I immerse myself always in all sorts of situations. I've had many relationships with men, so I've lots of experience, like how do I connect with others and what's happening then, So and since I love finding out what the strong parts are, and I love finding out why things can go wrong, I have, like 20 years of experience of how people interact. Also myself in my family with my two sisters, what my mother was doing towards one sister, what my mother was doing towards me. So the expectation of people, the interaction between people, that gave me a lot of not only practical information but also very much emotional information about how things work and how we can react on that. So it is just to the third line, which is sort of really participating in life. It's going backwards and forwards into itself, into the world and back, which is, let's say, it's what exactly we're going to do. You're going to get all the necessary basics, of course, to do a very good partnership analysis. That's for sure, because I love detail and I love quality. So, but I don't have all the details yet, so I can't speak about that. I can, you can open up a book and you can read about the mechanics in the channels and the resonance and the harmony and the dissonance and so on. And how channels interact and so on and so forth. But it's more the experience, I think, that counts, together with my scientific background, which is going to make it a great course, which I'm looking very much forward to. So yeah, that's it. I see, Lila, that you are 3-5 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole trip, So yeah.
Quite some trial and error around.
Yeah. But the older you get, that's the fortunate part of getting older. The more relaxed I became, and the more distance I can look at myself, at people, at connections, and I just love doing partnership analysis for people. It's really very nice. And then giving you not only the technical things, but also what is really happening when two people meet. And that's a different level, It's the mechanical part you can get from a book. But what is really happening between people, and how someone is experiencing him or herself and the other, that's the advantage, of 20 years of experience.
Exactly. Yeah, you're touching a very vital point for me, because our Facebook group is called Train with the Experts, and that's what I name my newsletters. That's a very important issue for me. Human design is so much more than just the information, and you need, exactly as you said, you need the digestion time, you need the experience, you need the living it and the experience of having lived it before you can really teach others well. And all the teachers that we have here and I promote, all of them are very experienced teachers, and they know what they're talking about. As you said, an electromagnetic channel, yes, well, it's easy to explain the mechanics, but
it takes 5 minutes. Yeah,
exactly. That's not what it's all about.
Yeah.
Great. So thank you very much. This is going to happen. Again, I suppose we are free with the timing, or comparatively free when ATL one now slowly comes to an end. I will discuss with the participants from Martin's course right now at what time they would like to continue with the courses. As I said, my plan is to do it in the summer, and then give them a few little months break in between, and then we'll come to ATL 3.
Yeah.
Now ATL 4 is scheduled as well. This is going to happen in spring 2018. I'm going to teach this, and this is in the future, but I hope to get Martin and Roos involved as well, so that we, this is a huge course. It's really 2 parts. It is the keynoting and the rave reading. So I would love to, interact with some more teachers, and we do that together. But this is, this is sort of really quite some time to go yet, but it's definitely going to happen. And you can take the test with us. You get a certification from my human design school. So, this is all going to be very official and very structured, and we do have a website where you can be listed. So, this is the plan for the next round of analyst training.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically that's the information for me. Please feel free, Andrea, I will open your microphone again. Feel free to ask whatever you would like to know, and Roos and I will be happy to answer your questions.
Yes.
So in ATL 4, everything comes together. Is that right?
Exactly. ATL 4, the new part of the last part is the keynoting, how to really get all the information in a keynoted, short, compressed, complete picture.
Perfect.
Because that's again the big problem. You've learned all these details, but you cannot drown the newcomer in all the details. You have to be able to keynote and put the things together. So that's one part, and the other part is really the rave reading, how to structure a reading. So this will include the technical things you need, the recording, what software you need, what technical supplies you need, and in what way you structure reading, do an intro or not, what is part of the intro, how to structure a reading. So that's going to be very, very practical.
Fantastic.
And in ATL 4, it is the students who have to do most of the work, I can assure you. So this is easy for the teacher, because you will get to practice and really get it all together.
Well, that's very good, because I still think it's pretty difficult to put it all together. And
exactly.
But
it takes time. It just takes time.
Yes, I'm in my 6th year, so I'm just starting.
Yeah, exactly. Well, when Roos and when we started, I started in '93, so that's really ages ago. I didn't have the plan to become a human design analyst, let alone the organization. It just happened. I didn't give a reading until couple of years into my process, and then I sort of found out, well, that's fun, that's helpful. That sort of, it really grew. So it's, you have to give yourself time. It really, takes time.
I know.
Yeah, it was in a way frustrating on one hand, because there was hardly any material available. I remember that when I got in, I went to a class, I don't know, maybe somewhere where Jürgen lived or so, with Brav. And there I met people, and they had cassette tapes, with all kinds of information of the human design. And they had to send me these cassettes, and I had to copy them, and I had to send them back, and it was huge. So you couldn't do it quicker. Now you go online and you for weeks and weeks you can sit down, read and order more books and that makes you sort of hungry for more and more, and then that's really very much the advantage. And
it's an advantage, but it also makes it more difficult to focus on the vital parts.
Yes, that's right.
You can really get lost in the incredible details. I always have to smile when especially on in social medias, I read people talking about I am my variable is this, and all very interesting. Do you know how to follow your basic type and strategy?
Yeah.
Do you know your basic essence of your design? And very often they are lacking the basic understanding and getting really lost in details. And that's something that I really try and avoid in our school.
Yeah.
Well,
True.
good to hear, Ilse. And thank you for doing all the tough work.
It is so funny because I am on the cross of planning with my son in 37. This is really what I'm here for. This is my son. I have this really satisfying feeling I am in the right place. This is my job. I love it. I enjoy every day of it. Officially, I'm retired. I mean, this is ridiculous. I'm not going to retire for the next 30 years. So, this is perfect.
Yeah. You're just starting, Ilse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I may have two questions.
Go ahead, yes.
The first one is very practical, and I know it might be also kind of a trick question, so I apologize in advance. But if I'm here, I'll ask it. Question is, does your foundation reading is your foundation reading acceptable in the IHDS?
Well, this is a tricky question indeed. Ra used to accept our analysts for many, many years. There was no problem whatsoever. I'm not quite sure what IHDS is doing with our students now. And to tell you quite frankly, I could not care less. I have no connection with the IHDS. I think they are a disgrace to human design. What they do to the training is not at all what it should be or could be. So, don't ask me about IHDS. I have left them quite a while ago. And I am true to the knowledge. I'm true to what Ra taught me. You get a good training, and I could not care less if IHDS lists you or not. You can be listed with us, and you get, all the support and everything you need. Yeah, that's where
I'm sure about those things. Just by whoever goes through my reading, I want to know what to expect and what I offer in a sense. In that sense.
Well, all our teachers here, I mean, the German-speaking teachers, they are well known. We have the oldest and the best, and teachers in the human design world. So wherever you go, you will hear about the good reputation that all the German-speaking professionals have. So if you train with us, you can really be assured that you are going to be able to, give good readings.
I see. Okay, thank you. And
Pleasure.
Another question. I'm asking from a place that I, as a person of what was mentioned here, I don't have a tendency, I think, to get lost in the knowledge, I have to say. And what I want to ask is, how do you view variables in the mix of the knowledge, and what is the possibility when you complete this training as variables are concerned to get that completion or information or training about what you want?
Well, I think this is really two completely different things. So if you take the analyst training, the goal is to become an analyst and to give good readings. The variables really belong to the much deeper parts of human design. So if you take the differentiation degree, if you are involved in the health or in the psychology part of human design, then the variables, of course, become more and more important. I do look at the variables. I think I've got it here in the. Yeah, any chart that you have, I can see that Roos has a left mind, so this is a focused thinker. So this is something that I, of course, do take into account, but this is something that should be considered a long time after you have learned to be correct. So it starts with really type and strategy, very basically understanding your inner authority, arriving at correct decisions, and then once this is really in your system, once this works, once you are sort of easy and automatic with your basic functioning, then you can go on into endless details. And of course, they are incredibly interesting. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't, I have learned all these details. I know many of them. But you have to very, very clearly distinguish when to talk about what. If somebody comes for a first basic foundation reading, you should not talk about variables. You, as the analyst, can take a quick look, is this somebody with a focused mind or is this somebody with a receptive mind? This is something where you can sort of adapt your language a little bit. But this is for you as a way of how to treat this person correctly. But to use it in your work, this comes long after your analyst certification.
Okay. Okay, but
Yeah, also, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, what did you want to say, Rob?
Well, the funny thing is that the longer I work with human design, the more I find out that I have to go back to the very simple basics.
Mm-hmm.
And that helps.
Yep.
And I do long coaching sessions. I speak 2 hours about one hexagram and the line combined. It takes 2 hours, and that implies that people get a very deep feeling about what they are here to do, what the subject is like. So I understand, and I fully agree, Ilse, what you say, that it is so incredibly helpful to just go back to the details, and you help people enormously, only, let's say, only between brackets with that. And the rest, of course, is nice also and can be helpful and. But but there is some sort of genetic continuity in the chart. So one way or the other, you come back to the basics.
Exactly.
And if you do that, and if you can follow that, and if you know that, or if you can help others with that, you are of very great help.
Yeah, and it's simply the order of things. I mean, this is the analyst training, so this is really the beginning.
Yeah.
Once you've taken or you've become a human design analyst, this is not the end. No ways, this is the end. I took my analyst certification in 1995. I haven't stopped learning since then.
Yeah.
So, you know, there is no end in human design. There's
Yeah.
definitely no end. But for me, it is very important to keep a sort of
Yeah.
intelligent order, to start at the
Yeah.
beginning and to make sure people get it in the beginning before they go further.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good to hear.
Yeah.
Thank you for your answers.
My pleasure. That's why we're here. Okay, anything else?
Not from my side.
Okay.
Okay, well, then I think we can call it a day. I will upload the recording so that everybody who did not make it now can watch it afterwards. I'm sure you all know how to contact me or us, and yeah, looking forward to seeing you again, online, live, wherever, however. It's
Yeah.
been a pleasure to meet.
Definitely. Yeah.
Thank you very, very much for including me in this.
My pleasure, yeah.
Thanks a lot, you both.
Okay.
Thanks for being
To
here.
meet you.
Yeah, nice you were there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Bye.
Well, then have a nice evening, and see you again
Thank
some
you.
other time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.